Photoshop PS button on the bottom of your screen, and a window similar to this is going to pop up. Now sometimes, depending on what the settings were left at or what's going on, this big gray area might be blank and you'll just see the sides of this. You'll just be able to see right through to your other programs, or you'll have another gray screen. Also, there could be random kind of things that are floating around, okay, that you can kind of drag or put where you want. If it looks funky, like you don't have a toolbar or you don't have a layers palette over here, what you're going to want to do is you want to go up to Window, and you want to go to Workspace, and you're going to want to hit Photography. All right, now that's going to reset it. All right, it's going to put your toolbar on the left-hand side. It's going to put your layers down here on the right-hand side. And everything will be good to go at that one. So again, that's Window, Workspace, Photography. So if it ever looks funky, like you're missing your toolbar, you can do that. Now, just as a matter of preference, I like to have a double toolbar, kind of like this, but this little tiny double arrow up here can make it a single or a double. So this is kind of the workspace. Now, the majority of tools you're going to be using are going to be over here on the left-hand side. And your first assignment is going to have you labeling all of these, and the lessons are going to teach you guys how to use most of these, or at least some of these tools. But a lot of these tools, if you see this little corner arrow, a lot of these tools have if you hold down the thing, have multiple tools underneath this one icon. For example, this one has 6 under this one eyedropper icon, and so forth and so on. So if you're looking for other tools, just know that some tools are hidden under these things, and as you get more familiar with Photoshop, you'll know that, hey, the magnetic lasso tool is actually under this lasso tool type tool. Up here are a lot of other tools, okay? A lot of the times the directions will say go to image, adjustments, and then click on such and such a thing, or edit and click on such and such a thing, or use a filter. So again, these top bars up here can be useful as well. The layers palette over here on the right hand side is gonna kind of be your sandwich. So the original image will kind of be the bottom part of the bread, and then as you add to it, it will build, adding to your layers. So let's go to Firefox, where you guys are at, and I've kind of already logged into Google Drive, gone to the Photoshop folder, and I've clicked on the first selecting and color changes assignment. Now the directions are right here. You double click on them, okay, you can read over these directions. So the first assignment is going to have us convert Flower 2 to Flower 2 Final. So we're going to have to take Flower 2 and we're going to have to make it into this one and into this one, these 2 flower ones from this pink flower. Which means we're going to need to get this pink flower. So if you double click it, it's going to bring it to full size, and up here is the download button. So go ahead and download it. Okay. Now it's going to ask you if you want to save it or open it with preview. Alright, you can just hit save file. You don't need to open it up with preview. What I found is preview confuses people and they try to edit it in preview. Hit OK, and this little pop-up is going to come up. Now this little download arrow up here on the top of your browser is where you're going to go. You're going to grab it, okay, by holding it down with your thumb and drag it into Photoshop, and it should just pop up right away. All right. Some of you guys may have a downloads kind of thing right between your trash can and your applications, and it might show up there too, and you can just drag it into Photoshop that way. Okay, so now we have our image available, and we're going to start manipulating it, okay, using the magnetic lasso tool, the image adjustments, hue and saturation tool, and kind of tools like that. And when we're done with the image, what we're going to do is we're going to go to File, Save As, all right, and we're going to make sure that this desktop icon is checked. All right, you're going to save it as your last name, okay, and this is Flower 2 Final. All right, and you're going to save it to the desktop. You'll notice that I have a bunch of files here. I'm not going to actually save it to the desktop, but that's how you would do it. So again, just as a brief video introducing you to Photoshop and how to get your image originally into Photoshop.